Scott from Master Tan, and this is...
I'm Tootsie.
Right, and we're here to show you one of our special recipes for one of the most famous things we have in our chocolate case, which is...
It's our homemade toffee.
Absolutely right. You're getting it here.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite things to make, which is why we're inviting you into the kitchen to make it with us.
Come on in.
Yeah,
we'll show you how it's done.
Yep. So first things first, when I make my toffee, I'm gonna pour it into a pan that needs to be greased. So I'm just gonna run some butter over it. It's just regular butter. We're gonna thoroughly cover the entire pan. And Susie told me to make sure you don't put too much butter, because when you pull your toffee out of it, it's gonna have a really kind of a greasy film on it if you put too much butter. So we don't want that. So
just the right amount.
Yes.
And hopefully they're seeing that there.
Yeah, I don't know. We can like draw things in it. It's kind of fun.
Well, half the fun with anything in the kitchen, especially confectionaries, is experimentation.
It is. Yep, this is where you can practice penmanship in the butter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.
But so that's one. I'm gonna put a second.
That's where the kids can help you.
True that. Yep. Just give them their butter. Soften butter. This makes quite a bit, so that's why this pan is huge.
Is that too big a pan for you? Is it the right size pan for toffee?
It is.
That's a good size toffee pan.
Yep.
That's what you'd want.
Yeah,
I don't know what size this is.
This is a full sheet pan, and then this one here is a half a sheet pan. And our recipe is perfect, a full sheet pan and a half sheet pan.
Mm-hmm. So if I was making this at home, I would use 3 of these. Because I don't have one of these giant pans, but I do have 3 regular sheet pans.
I feel like we need another one of these giant sheet pans.
I think we do.
I love it.
We'll have to talk to corporate about that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can get funding to come
What
through.
do you think, Scott? Can we get a second one?
I'll have to call the bank and see, but we'll check on it.
Sounds good. Alrighty.
Yes.
All right.
I've got, the pan's greased. I'm going to just set them aside because we won't need them till the end. And then we're going to crank up the oven. Not oven, the
Oh,
stove. Alrighty, we're doing the large burner because we've got a big pot.
My part's coming up.
Yes.
Wait till you see what I'm here for.
Yep. Alrighty, Scott, if you want to step.
Step this way.
Yep, I want to move you.
I'm blind, I can't see, so I'm hard of hearing too. What do you know? Let's dance. There we go.
Yep.
Perfect. Alrighty. Okay.
Then we've got the spoon.
So you're ready for me to right now?
Oh, sort of.
Alright.
Okay.
I am the stirrer.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the first ingredient, which is butter. So the 2 most important things in toffee is butter and sugar. And we're using it's a European butter. So it's kind of the rule of thumb. If you want a good quality, like finished product, you've got to use good ingredients. So it might be a splurge, but good butter is worth it for your toffee. Because there's so much of it in there.
Absolutely. Quality is what we shoot for around here.
Yes. There's so much butter in toffee.
It's award-winning butter even.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Award-winning butter.
You know, it occurred to me, what is the difference between peanut brittle and toffee?
Oh, you turned on the wrong burner.
Ah! Oh, wow. Yeah, I was going to say something about that.
It's like,
No.
they'll take it
like
hot, but
something's
like,
heating up.
Never mind the blind guy.
But
Have a whole-
nothing's melting.
Nothing's melting. It's working fine.
This is real life.
But
This is what I do at home.
alrighty. We're going to have a tips on kitchen safety as well with a blind person stirring the toffee. Which, by the way, the first time I did that, it was a disaster.
When did you make toffee?
Well, don't you remember the pot falling off the stove?
Well, we were there. We were by ourselves. And then,
Yeah.
Oh no.
It
That
was
was a
like
while
I think it was probably like on a Sunday afternoon, and Scott was helping me make toffee, and all of a sudden I heard a crash. But the cool thing about it is it landed. The pot and all fell on the ground.
Well, the toffee is so sticky that I just kept pulling it towards me, and I didn't realize I'm pulling it towards me. And then when the pot fell, it was so sticky it didn't really splatter anything.
It
And so
It just landed.
the bottom
it
of
just,
the pot,
It just
yeah.
landed.
Mhm.
Choom.
Yeah,
Right.
just like that. So, this is safe to make at home. Yes, safe. Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Okay. I'm
Moving
gonna let
on.
you stir, Scott.
where are we at here? Right here?
Yep, there's our
Okay.
pot. Okay, real quick, another real life. I have a little piece of package on my butter, so I'm just gonna quick. If you want to
Okay,
stop real
hold
quick,
on
Scott.
just a second, Scott.
I'm gonna get the. This is not good. So make sure
There
you
you go.
get all the package.
This is
off
the high
the
fiber toffee
It is
recipe.
the good quality butter,
It's
you
a
know?
high fiber. Yeah, you want to
Yes.
leave that label in there so they know what we're using. And I'll
Yes.
keep kind of stirring. Do I like break it up too, or just stir it?
You could. They're pretty big chunks, so it'll
They
take
are
a minute.
big chunks.
But
Absolutely.
that is a lot of butter. But that's what makes it good. Is all the butter.
But it's
And
14
then-
if they just had regular sticks. So we used 1 pound things of butter. If they just used regular sticks, it would be 14.
14 sticks of butter.
Yeah.
14 sticks.
Just 14. That's
14
not much.
sticks of butter.
Yes.
Takes a lot of butter.
It does. You have to remember it's making 3 pans of toffee, so
Ah,
it's
it's a commercial batch.
It's spread out, yes.
Unless you got a big family.
That's true.
That-
And then we can couple weeks and it'd be gone.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
You know what's really fun about today? What's really fun about today is it is what? Maybe 5 degrees outside? 5
About 5
degrees outside. And well, any time of year this is fun to do, but especially on a rainy day or a nice cold day, you come in and make up some toffee so you can enjoy it at night.
Can stand by the stove because it takes forever to cook, and so it's just warm. Put on some music.
Absolutely.
Stir your toffee for like an hour.
Sip some coffee and make some toffee.
That.
Alrighty.
Okay. So
What kind of toffee is it that we're making while we're
true that.
stirring? What?
You're asking the blind guy?
No,
We're-
I'm asking Tootsie. What kind
We're
of toffee?
making English toffee,
Ah,
and I guess so English
As-
toffee.
as opposed to French or German?
Yes. So
Good to
never
know.
heard of a different kind.
Good to know.
But English toffee with you can have like we've done almonds, you can do pecans, but today we're doing salted cashews. So
Ooh.
we're making
That's
toffee
gonna
with
be-
cashews.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
It's my favorite nut.
Alright.
That was one.
Now I'm going to add the butter's it's about halfway melted, so I'm going to add the sugar. Once again, so 14 sticks of butter, but it's a ton of sugar as well. You can feel that
2,000
smell.
pounds of sugar.
No.
Oh yeah.
Just a little under
Yeah.
2,000
A
pounds.
little under 2,000 pounds of sugar there. You know, this is a man's job, stirring. This is not easy.
No.
No, it's building up some muscle now. You can prepare for probably a 12K. You can run on your hands.
Mega.
You're good with this.
Mega arms after stirring this.
Mega arms. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is kind of a little bit challenging at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, while we're stirring, you want to tell me some of the cool things about toffee? You know, did you research why it's called English toffee as opposed
Oh,
to
you get into the history of toffee,
American
and
toffee?
it's kind of American toffee. Way back when, if you look at toffee, the history begins probably in the early 1800s, and you got to think back, and back then, people that had delicacies like this were usually royalty. The common man
Expensive.
probably didn't get this too much because the ingredients were pretty precious, hard to come by. Sugar, cane, things like that. So back in the day, and it really started in Northern Europe, United Kingdom up there, and what they used was 2 basic ingredients. But actually, when sugar melts, do you know what it's called?
I don't. But you did tell me, but I've already forgotten.
It's a trinkle.
Trinkle.
Trinkle. When any type of sugar form melts, it's called a trinkle. And back then, they used 2 basic forms of trinkle. There was a clear trinkle that they called golden syrup. And then there was a darker trinkle that they called black trinkle. And it was more of a molasses base. And it came from more of a molasses sugar. And so that was the basic of toffee. Those 2 types of trinkle that were used in the manufacturing of it.
Oh, that's intriguing.
Mhm.
Wow.
And there was
Way to go, Robinson.
an
That's
English
interesting.
English sugar manufacturer, or not, processor, I guess
So
you'd
this
say.
is maybe where the English came in.
Yeah, it is. It is.
They started.
They did. They started it, and then
That's up to them.
we got it in about the early 1900s. That's when it came to America, and the common man could afford it then, and there was just a whole lot more supply.
Mm-hmm.
The way the economy for sugar and such came about. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Trinkle.
was.
Have you ever heard of Trinkle before in movies or anything like that?
Never.
I watched this movie before, and you said it starred in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Have you watched Chitty
Yeah.
Chitty Bang Bang
Chitty
before?
Chitty Bang
Well,
Bang.
I could practically quote Chitty Chitty Bang.
Yeah.
Really?
We, as a family, all my brothers and sisters, we watched it, and we are terrified of it.
Yes, because of the candy man.
You know, the
Yeah.
Candyman.
Yeah.
The Candyman's. What do you mean? What could be so
Like
bad about a Candyman?
Watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and you'll realize why we had nightmares.
Right.
Oh, you're talking
Yes.
about the child catcher.
Come
Yes.
here. Oh, what
The
did he
child
say?
catcher.
The child catcher. What did he say?
He,
Come here. I've
Scott
got
does it
some
best.
candy.
He's got the.
I've got it on my phone if you want to see
Okay.
the actual. But yeah, and actually, you know what actually he caught the kids with?
The Trinkle. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
was
all started in
Trinkle.
the movie. That's why it, yep. came to
Trinkle
mind.
Tarts, wasn't it? Trinkle Tarts?
Yes, that's right.
It went something like he had a little jingle bell and where are you kitties? I know you're here somewhere. Lollipops. Free for today. Cherry pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
That-
scared.
Trinkle Tarts.
Yeah, it was cherry pie, cream puffs, ice cream, Trinkle Tarts. And that's when the kids are Trinkle Tarts. So I've never had a Trinkle Tart myself.
But if it's anything like toffee, that's why the kids got caught, because toffee is delicious. So I'm sure.
It is. It absolutely
Trinkle Tarts
is.
were great too.
And I'm trying to do two things at once here. This is what's dangerous in the kitchen. The blind guy doing two things at once.
I have the thermometer in the pot.
Okay.
Are you stirring
The
and
thermometer's
doing email at the same time?
Do not try this at home. Don't
Right.
put
Try
your
this at home.
phone over
Right.
a pot of butter. and
Don't
sugar.
do that. Don't.
Scott's a professional, so he can multitask. He can do email
Hold
and
it. I
I'm
was
gonna
just about
stir.
there.
Well, you-
I was about there. Well, there we go. Here you go. This is it. It is. It is not real loud because it's talking.
There it goes.
All right.
Like battery.
Like Tootsie said, bad dreams.
And all free today. Cherry pie, cream puffs, ice cream, treacle tarts. Treacle tarts and ice cream.
Twinkle Tarts. There you go. That did it right there. Yep.
That was in the
Absolutely.
movie.
Yep.
Okay, so when you come to Master's Hand, we're gonna offer you toffee, but we're not like trying to catch you or anything.
Yeah.
It's safe here.
it's safe.
It's safe here. It's
Right,
safe here.
This is a safe zone. This
It's-
Master's Hand is a safe place.
It is a very safe place. Exactly. Safe zone. There's also, with that black Trinkle, there's a drink that they make with it. They actually use it in cakes and everything else, Trinkle. And this
Which is a
company,
molasses base.
it's the molasses base.
Okay, and
And-
so that would be less expensive. So like the commoner could probably have the molasses base, or like they were.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. They actually, when you talk about that, it's interesting because the company that actually manufactured it is still manufacturing it today. in, I believe it's East London by the Thames River, unless the factory's moved. But I think they consider it down by the river yet.
Down by the river.
Yeah, and they actually had it originally way back in the 1800s when they started. It was in a green can with gold lettering on the top. And that was the golden syrup, the lighter colored. And the Queen of England, they actually got a, what's the word for it? A warrant or, yeah, okay. Well, it was actually whenever a product was endorsed by the royalty. Yeah, it became official that the royalty actually used it and endorsed it. I think it was called a warranty. And so they got a warranty on it in 1920 by the royal family, and so they put that stamp on the can there. And then in the 1950s, they actually started canning and selling the black Trinkle. So it's kind of interesting. And actually, you can get it today online from that very same company.
You know, wouldn't it be cool to order some Trinkle?
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering about it too. And you know, the Cornish fishermen had a special drink they made out of it. A very celebratory drink. They called it mahogany. And it consisted of 2 parts local gin and 1 part of the black Trinkle. Not that I'm into gin and stuff, but that was a local fisherman's delight drink, I guess, for the Cornwall part of England, down the southern part. Yeah.
Okay. Well, your stirring's doing its job, Scott. The butter is like basically gone. So that means we need to add our third ingredient, which is soy lecithin. Say that like 10 times.
Wow, that was quite the roll there.
Alrighty, so soy lecithin. Susie was telling me, so when in the candy you've got a fat and sugar, with the soy lecithin it helps the two bind together so that you've got a smoother product. So you know the toffee melts in your mouth.
So when you got butter that you're mixing in with the sugar, the lecithin becomes an important ingredient.
It does, yes.
Gotcha.
It's the secret ingredient to make it smooth.
It is a secret ingredient, that's for sure.
And it is as sticky as all get out.
It
soy
is.
lecithin is like a syrup.
Yeah.
So-
only it's not like it's like hard to get out in a syrup. I don't know.
It is.
Is it being a little ornery there? Well, let's just throw it in there and heat it up. I bet it'll decide to come out then.
True. Probably put the bottle in some hot water. It might come out better. But
Boom.
okay. This is
I don't know. I've
number
used it hot and I've used it cold, and it really doesn't matter. It's like cement.
It's like cement either way.
It is, yeah.
Don't get it on your fingers because it takes a lot of like high-powered Dawn soap to wash it off.
High-powered Dawn soap. That's HP. Dawn.
HP.
Dawn HP Plus.
Yes.
You can find that at your local grocery.
That's
Tootsie's favorite stuff.
yes. You get. Okay, I'm just gonna put the spoon in here and make sure it all gets out.
Okay. Do you mean to move out of the way?
Yeah, it has. Heat does. Heat hot. It comes off the hot.
Like very right now, our liquid's at 200 degrees, so it'll come out at 200 degrees.
It's coming along.
Yep.
So why do we have the thermometer in there? What are we looking for?
We are looking, so I think it's really cool. So I've always enjoyed making candy, and candy, the basics of candy is sugar, and you cook it. So if you've ever cooked sugar before, it breaks down and it becomes, with heat, sugar, it becomes liquid. And then from liquid, you keep on cooking it. So if we get to cook it to 230 degrees, it'll get to a red stage. And then at 240 degrees Fahrenheit, sugar becomes softball stage. And that's kind of like Play-Doh, like a silly putty kind of.
Oh, really?
Which is totally weird that granulated sugar can become like a silly putty type consistency.
That sounds like fun.
And then cook it longer and it becomes, it says hardball stage, and that's a little over 260 degrees. Hardball is sugar that's, stress ball. It's still It's
Like if
Yeah,
you got
it's
hit in
like-
the head with that, would it hurt?
Yeah.
not well.
Not really.
Hardball.
Well, hardball is where you take
Why you
toffee to, or I mean, like peanut brittle to.
No, that's hard crack.
Hard crack.
Hard crack.
Hardball.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Hardball, it's still mobile, not mobile, but like squishy a little bit.
Still got some
yeah.
liquidity to
Yeah.
it, or some.
And then you
fluidness.
go soft crack, which that's becoming like peanut brittle, where you could like break
Yeah.
the sugar. That's when the sugar is hard and breakable.
At what temperature is hard crack?
Hard crack, I don't have it memorized. That's like
She's a genius.
She is.
300 degrees.
300
She's like
degrees.
that. We didn't
Okay,
tell you her
like
last
hard
name was
crack.
Google.
So
Tootsie
where are
Google.
we taking our toffee to?
Toffee, we're doing it to 291 degrees.
Yowza.
And we have to be careful
Wow.
because 293 degrees and toffee is too hard. And it'll be like eating jerky. Or like
Jerky.
like glass. Very crunchy.
Wow.
And it'll lose kind of some of that melt in
Yeah.
your mouth.
So if you were making peanut brittle though, you would want to take
you
it
would
to,
want it
yeah.
to pop.
You would want
Ah.
to take it to like about 292, 293, right in that area.
Yeah.
But peanut brittle's different, isn't it? I mean, there's no dairy in peanut butter, is there? No butter?
There's a
there's
little
butter.
bit.
A little bit,
Little
not
bit.
as much.
Not
That
as much.
one, you cook water, corn syrup, and just granulated white sugar. And that's what you cook for forever. Okay. And speaking of corn syrup, we have the soy lecithin, and then we're going to add corn syrup. Our toffee is boiling now.
Uh-oh.
And to the boiling toffee, I'm going to add the corn syrup. Yeah, FYI, Scott is boiling now.
Okie dokie. That means stir faster.
Yep.
No, you don't necessarily have to stir faster. It's okay.
You don't think I'll get popped?
You might get popped.
I don't know.
Yeah. And since it's boiling, since it's so hot, candy has to cook for a long time. And if you use like a thin bottom pot, like your standard, it's gonna burn. I've burned my fair share of candy.
Wow.
So the thicker the bottom of your pot, the better. And optimal is copper lined. It regulates the heat better. But we're not copper
Wow.
people.
Wow.
Not copper.
So if you're at home and you're
No.
doing this by yourself and the phone rings, what do you do?
Don't answer the phone because it'll burn.
It'll be burned.
There you
So
go.
don't make this when you like kids running around. You'll need to,
So
your full
block off some
attention
time
to-
and turn off your phone.
yeah.
Okay. Put a message out there.
but
Making
this
candy.
one-
This pot we have here,
It actually is a really heavy,
Very
heavy. It's a very heavy pot. I think it's a 12-ply pot, bottom pot. So
That'll make it.
best would be definitely copper. It's
Yeah.
copper.
That's like the old fashioned, you see people making candy. Actually, in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, they were making candy in just
Wow.
giant copper kettles.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is
It
interesting.
might even help with the flavor. But
Cool.
alrighty, so in the pot, boiling, there's the sugar, the butter, the soy lecithin, and corn syrup. And we're gonna let this cook, stirring the entire time. It'll take probably 25 up to 30 minutes to get up to temp, 291 degrees. So we're not gonna have you watch us stir and talk the entire 25 minutes. But as we do that, as we stir, you'll be able to tell that it's cooking because this blonde color in here, it's gonna get darker and darker, and it's gonna become that coffee color that you know and love.
Alrighty.
You'll see it getting darker like a.
Okay, so
So am I stirring it right, or
Yeah.
obviously I'm what?
you're
I'm a
doing
little
great.
wary of that thermometer over there, so I don't know if I'm getting over on that side as well as I should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do a time lapse of this now,
I'm gonna show you.
and
It's so cool. It's really cool.
all right.
It's thickening up. I can tell you that much right now.
Because your arms are like bulging.
Tell you what. I need a wipe on my forehead. Sponge. Sponge.
It's getting hot in here. Let me check the temperature again.
Alrighty.
It's time right now. So
time
I'm
right
gonna
now.
take it off the burner.
Okay. You want me to
And
keep
we're
stirring
gonna-
it for
yep.
now?
We're
Stir
gonna
it.
have you keep stirring and move it off. I'm adding those cashews, remember, like we said. Cashews. Sorry, Scott. It's
Oh, wow, now it's really hard. I tell you what, I build up some muscles here. I mean, macho man.
We're gonna get that stirred up real quick.
Real quick sounds good to me. I mean, macho man. Yes, quick.
You can do it.
I can do it.
Okay. It's stirred.
It's stirred. Okay. Perfect.
And then, remember those buttered pans? Now's the time where we're going to. Can I quick give it a stir, Scott?
Sure. There you go.
Yep.
Medic. Medic.
His shoulder. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
there we are. I'm gonna.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, there we go. It's like golden brown. It's beautiful.
Yep. Okay, now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just stretch it out throughout the whole pan. We want it to be kind of a thinner layer of toffee. This is gonna be fabulous. Ah, it's hot. Super hot. Now definitely don't get this on you because this is 290 degrees. It is super, super hot. Looking good. Okay, this is pretty easy to manipulate at this point. Now give it about, I don't know, another minute and it's not gonna be quite so easy. Just gonna spread it out throughout
So
the
once you
pan.
pour it in the pan, the clock starts ticking on. So don't pick up the phone yet, right? The phone
Right,
rings.
no. If the phone rings or the baby cries, just let it happen.
Let it happen. Don't
Because-
sacrifice the toffee.
Toffee doesn't last, silly questions. Oh,
And
you
it
did
can
a
be
great job
solid.
with it. Oh, you know what? I was thinking, why don't I have more? I need more.
It's kind of cool how it stretches out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A lot like slime.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's nice where you heat sugar, it breaks down, it becomes amazing candy. But if you heat me, I break down, but I do not become candy. I become crabby.
Oh,
Yes.
so that's what happens, huh?
When you get too hot, but good
Yeah,
things,
this is good.
happen to sugar. It becomes toffee. So
This is a beautiful batch. Oh my goodness.
yeah, smooth.
I think a metal spoon works a little bit better than a spatula.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try it a metal spoon
Wow,
next time.
it bubbled there. This one's pretty thick. I can even give some more to Susie.
Well, yeah.
Right over here.
How long will I have to set before it'll?
Well, it's not gonna set very long, and then we're going to score it.
Yes, I'm gonna take this over to the other counter again. And the
And-
pan's hot.
By the way?
Nope.
Here we go.
And to score it, what we're gonna use is a pizza cutter, but it has to be a plastic pizza cutter. If you use a metal pizza cutter, it'll just all, it'll stick. It'll just all.
That's the incomplete sentence.
It's
Just all.
just total all. Well, it'll stick to the metal
And all.
and all. It'll just totally all. Okay, hey, this is looking really good. What do you think, guys? Is this looking fabulous?
Wish I could tell ya.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and score this. This is a little bit early, but that's okay. I like big pieces of toffee. Tootsie likes little pieces of toffee. So since I'm doing it, I'm doing big toffee. Okay.
Score.
Because
Score.
that's the best thing, the fry in the bottom of the bag, the little piece of toffee. That's the best thing.
You're right,
It's a little nibble.
Toffee is the type of candy
So
that
you
you
like
can
little
consume
fries?
slowly.
Well, not little fries, but little pieces of toffee.
Okay.
Like if you have chocolate on toffee, do you eat the chocolate off first and then the toffee?
No.
You take the bite.
Yes.
I have to take the chocolate off the toffee, and then just
Suck it
consume the toffee by itself.
That is it is a thing. There was this guy who came in. He wanted toffee without chocolate, pure toffee.
Just pure toffee.
Yep. But then a lot of people like it dipped in chocolate.
Nicole
or
Nicole loves toffee without. She likes it when I don't put the chocolate on. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
there we go.
I like with the chocolate on, but that's just how I eat it.
There we go.
I take the chocolate off.
This is looking.
Just about
This
everything.
is a gorgeous batch. Now, if I get some that are just a smidgen too big, just a smidgen, not a whole big, too big, just a smidgen.
Is that metric system, smidgens?
Smidgen.
Kind of like a pinch.
A pinch?
Yep.
Then I'll just come
St.
back
Patty's
here.
Day's coming up. Better have some
Okay.
paint on.
So now when this cools down, all we'll do is just break it where we scored it, and then we're gonna dip it in chocolate.
Right here.
But it's gonna have to cool down about 12 hours. Probably 12 hours before we can dip it. If we dip it any sooner than that, then what will happen is the chocolate will bloom.
Yep.
And Mama ain't got no time for bloom chocolate. No time.
We want it perfect.
We want perfect.
As close to perfect as we can.
Oh,
Sounds like you did pretty good on this.
there we go.
this job.
This is looking great. Now we're gonna let this cool.
Can I use this fork?
Yep, there you go.
I'm gonna go do that other little pan.
Yeah. So we are going to let this cool down, and we will be back, and we're gonna dip.
Hey, we're back,
Hey,
and we're here for the dipping stage of the toffee production.
Yes.
So I'll let Tootsie take over. I am quality control.
He is. Yes, he's gonna be making sure I do this exactly right.
That's right. I'm overseeing.
This here is part of the finished product of that toffee we made, and I'm gonna dip it today in dark chocolate, which is pretty cool. Honestly, milk chocolate is my favorite, but dark is just pretty. I don't know.
It's interesting.
rich.
Isn't it? You know, I grew up not liking dark chocolate at all because of those Hershey's specials you got in those little, the crackle.
Oh, it's the one that you always leave out.
Pick it out, yeah, absolutely. But our dark chocolate here, and we went 100 miles of test tasting to pick out the right dark
How
chocolate.
many chocolates did you try?
There was a lot. We sampled customers during a season.
You sampled customers?
To have them rank y'all what they like this dark chocolate. Yeah, I sampled customers. I just got out of prison last week.
You let them sample.
Absolutely. But it's interesting how dark chocolate can complement a really sweet, like toffee. I prefer the dark chocolate now. I really do, especially with toffee.
It's kind of the sweet of the toffee and then the savory rich of the dark chocolate.
Yes.
And it does marry together quite well.
married together is a great word for that.
Yes, yeah. So the reason why I'm only dipping half of these pieces, or only dipping them halfway, is because we like milk chocolate. And so when we have milk chocolate melted, I'm going to dip the same pieces, the other half, in the milk chocolate. So it'll be kind of half and half. Yeah.
Perfect.
Which I think is delicious.
It's excellent. And I don't know if anybody knows, but what you're dipping into here is called a chocolate temperer.
It is.
It's a specialized machine that's designed to keep the chocolate from blooming.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I don't know, how would you describe it, Tootsie? If you've ever seen chocolate that looks like it's old because it's got a little white pasty on the outside?
It does, yeah. It kind of looks like someone blew flour all over it,
Yeah.
cooking flour. It's just got a white filmish. It's just not shiny.
Right.
It's
dull
not
and-
pretty. It's pretty dull.
It's still good chocolate to eat.
Yeah.
It still tastes
It's
good.
still
but
100% edible.
but it wasn't tempered correctly. Absolutely. What did you do though?
Good thing quality control is talking and not watching.
Did you spit your gum out in there again?
No, I didn't.
I'm just joking. I'm joking. She's never
No.
spit her gum out in there.
No.
No.
But, so this has happened before. When you dip, you've got to have a good grip on it, because if I drop it in here, this chocolate is at a hotter temperature, and if I lose it, it could melt and then flavor the whole pot toffee.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's happened with the caramel before. I was dipping a caramel, and it fell off the little dipping fork, and I'm like looking for it, and then I never found it.
Oh no. Oh no.
So
Yeah.
I do need quality control.
Right. And Tootsie's a pretty sharp cookie, believe me. She knows that you have to eat your mistakes around here.
Yes, but it's, yeah.
Did you find
It's
it?
good though. No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
But that's one of the thousands, so I think we're good. This is the last piece, guys. Last piece of toffee.
Perfect.
Kind of sad, but
Alrighty.
yep. The toffee journey's coming to a close.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful toffee journey. Thank you for taking it
has.
on.
It's been so much fun.
She's a toffee queen.
Sometimes.
So,
And that's the last of it.
It
But,
is.
Tootsie, do you want to show them the toffee? You can explain to them what happened on Saturday when we were dipping, and you can give them an example. Well, we lost power.
True.
So if you want to show them that tray of what it looks like when chocolate blooms.
True that.
we did have a power outage Saturday. It's true.
Okay. Okay.
You guys need to go back there?
It looks cool.
No, it's,
Oh, it's up here.
it is.
Okay, so see how this is just like
It's kind of gray. Yeah. And you can see it's kind of got the curved whitish patterns. It's still 100% edible and it still tastes amazing, but it's just not picture perfect, not 100%. And this is what happens if the chocolate does not come to exact temper. So if your power runs out halfway through, don't dip chocolate because it's not ready.
this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
It's shiny. It's delicious. But
Okay.
we'll still eat this. I don't know. We
Alright.
might chunk it up and put it on ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Okay, now we're gonna finish out this little vat of chocolate. There's not a whole lot left, so we're gonna finish this out, and we will be back when we are dipping our milk chocolate.
Yay!
Woohoo!
That's my favorite.
This is Julia. She's a wonderful employee here at Master's Hand. Glad to have her, and she is going to walk us through the final stages of the toffee making process. Right, Julia?
Right, and it's not too hard, but we're just gonna go ahead and step you through it. We are gonna take our already covered in dark chocolate toffee, and we're gonna add some of the wonderful milk chocolate that is ready to go here.
Milk
We're gonna
chocolate.
take it and we'll dip it in here about halfway,
Dipping it in the milk chocolate.
and we're gonna shake it. Shake,
She's
shake,
shaking
shake.
it. She's shaking it.
Shake,
Oh.
shake, shake.
What was that that fell in there?
No. It's just chocolate.
It's just. Are you sure?
Just chocolate, yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna take it,
I'm a blind guy.
And-
I see everything.
put it here on the tray.
Uh huh.
Take some of my favorite nuts.
Which are
Almonds.
almonds.
I almost
All
forgot.
right. Put those almonds on
Sprinkle it
there.
on here, along with my favorite chocolate. Dark chocolate is my favorite, actually. And voila, there you go. Wonderful
Perfect.
food right there.
It's all done except for the tasting.
It's dessert, right?
Excellent.
Yeah. We
Awesome.
need people to come and taste it now because it is.
What's your favorite?
It's
What's your
good.
favorite way to eat toffee?
You just
Just
Bite
eat
it
it.
off, yeah.
But did you like peel the chocolate off and then eat the hard part?
No, you have to like just put it in your mouth, and that's the best. Chew it
Really?
up. Yeah.
I like ice cream with toffee.
I've never had that.
You never had that?
Mm-mm.
Try it sometime.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Change your world.
My brother loves toffee, so I may have to bring him some too. Because we
great.
need
He'll be a
people
great
to test
tester.
it. Yeah, we need people to test it. It's gonna be good.
That's
So
right.
come on in and have
Come
it.
on in and have it.